Now, the next question is, can I register or work online? Question, the answer, yes. So NCC offers online registration through the Nigerian Copyright e-registration system, okay, known as the NCERS. Next question, can I register more than one work on the same application? Now, the answer to this is no. Each work should be registered in a separate application. However, you may register works as a collection on one application with one title for the entire collection, as in the case of a music album with several songs. Take note, a movie in parts will be treated as separate works. I think that's quite clear enough. So for each work you want to register, they have to be registered separately. But if it's a work that comes in a collection, like a musical album where you have one work but a collection of songs in it, all of that can be registered with one title. Okay? Next question. How do I register my work if I choose to? Now, here's the deal. It's a physical submission. Like I told you the other time when I started, you can register your works in two ways. So here's the first one. In the case of physical submission, you can submit application for registration to any office of the Commission's offices nationwide, or by filling, this is the second one, or by filling the online form. Okay, so you will need to submit to the Commission a completed registration form along with 2 copies of the work and evidence of payment of the prescribed fee. Now we're going to get to that one pretty soon. There is a fee attached to every work you intend to register, and we're going to see how much it will cost. Okay, now registration forms are obtainable from the Commission's office, so that's quite simple and clear enough. Now, next question, how long does the registration process take? Now, duration of the registration process depends on the method of application. Generally, applications are processed within 10 working days. Online submissions using the online payment platform may have shorter duration of processing. Now, next question, is my copyright work protected globally? I love this one, guys. Please pay attention to this one. Now, copyright protection is essentially territorial in nature. Okay, now what does this mean? By virtue of membership of certain international copyright treaties and conventions, works of Nigerian citizens enjoy protection in territories of member countries of such treaties to which Nigeria is a party. Okay, and these include the Berne Convention. I don't know how you pronounce that. Some will say Bern, some will say Berne Convention. So guys, maybe on a later post, I'm going to break down the Berne Convention and explain what it actually is to us. But for now, let's ride on. So what I can get from this is that Nigeria as a country is kind of affiliated to some other countries based on the fact that they are members of certain conventions and copyright treaties. Okay, so for member nations, copyright can apply in their country. So for instance, if I copyright my works here in Nigeria, and Nigeria is in a certain, or was involved in a certain treaty or convention with a country like Ghana, Senegal, and the United States, my works will be copyrighted or copyright protected in Ghana, Senegal, and the United States of America. That's just an instance. Okay, so countries that are not party to these treaties and conventions for which Nigeria is a member, your works or our works, all my works that are copyrighted here in Nigeria will not be protected in such countries. Okay, so that's that. Now, next question: which statutes protect copyright in Nigeria? I think I said this earlier. So the primary law that protects copyright in Nigeria is the Copyright Act, Cap C28, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. Okay, now in addition to the Copyright Act, there are regulations which have been issued to regulate certain activities undertaken in relation to copyright works, and these include: 1. The copyright regulations. Now, so this is the copyright in bracket optical disc plants regulation 2006. I have another one, the copyright in bracket collective management organizations regulations 2007. So that's the copyright regulations 2007. We also have the copyright order 2012. This one deals with levy on materials. Okay, so that's that. Now, next question: what right do I have as an author or copyright owner of a work? The rights which an author or copyright owner enjoys in a work include the right to be acknowledged in any use made of his work, and also to prevent any derogatory use, alteration, distortion, or mutilation of same. So those are your rights as a copyright owner. All right. Now, the rights that I just read are known as your moral rights. More importantly, the copyright owner enjoys the right to earn money. Now, this is very important. He enjoys the right to earn money from his work by determining the condition under which the work may be commercially used by a third party. Now, this particular right is known as economic right. I understand that. Economic finances money. Okay, now an author can, this is another right, an author can prohibit or authorize the following acts. Okay, now there are lots of them here. He can authorize or prohibit the following, and there are: 1. The reproduction of the work in various forms, such as printed publication, photocopying, or making a recording in any media. 2. The public performance of works, such as staging a play in a theater. 3. The recording of works in the form of compact disc, cassette, videotapes, etc. 4. The broadcasting of the work by radio, cable, or satellite. 5. The translation of the work into other languages or its adaptation, such as from a novel to a screenplay. 6. The distribution of the work commercially by ways of sales, hiring, or rental. Now, those are some large amounts of rights. You see why it's important to make sure your works are registered? Yeah, registered under copyrights. Think about it. Now, the next question: is my work required to be registered as a condition for copyright protection? Take note of this one. I think I talked about it earlier. So here's the answer. The Copyright Act does not stipulate registration or any such formality as a condition for protection. Okay? Now, what this means is that you do not need to register your work with NCC before you can have or copyright ownership in that work. Okay, now but there are a little bit of nuances to this. Now, It says, but copyright subsists in a work from the moment the work is created. So once you create any work, you're protected under copyright. But the big question is, so why then do we have to go and register with NCC? We're going to find out. Okay. Now it says, however, as part of its statutory mandate to maintain an effective data bank on authors and their works, the Nigerian Copyright Commission has established a voluntary copyright registration scheme designed to enable authors and right owners notify the Commission of the creation and existence of work. Now, this is why, from what we read the last part of that, this is why it's important for you to register your works with NCC. When you register your works with them, it helps you to notify them of the presence or the existence of your created works. Okay? And they will help you put it in a data bank. Now, for your information, lots of artists, before they push out their works, or even before they start creating, let them go to NCC, and check if their creations or what they intend to create, their titles, their procedures, or whatever, have been copyrighted by someone else. So if you promptly give your work or register your work with MCC, it's out there in the public, so nobody can actually use what you've used. That's a good advantage. Now the next question: why should I register my work if registration is not a condition for copyright protection? That's a big question. So if registration does not constitute copyright protection, should I register it? Now, registration of a work with the Commission has several advantages, and they include: 1, the record generated by the Commission provides an independent source of verifying data relating to a work or its author to the general public. Now, this was the point I was trying to raise. So if your work is registered with NCC helps you put it in a database that is available to the public, all right, that members of the public are able to verify if certain ideas or concepts or titles or works have been created by someone. So with this, your work is promptly protected, because anyone who intends to copyright or steal your work will have to think twice, because you already registered it. Okay. Now, another advantage is the acknowledgement certificate. Now, just before I go on, when you register works with NCC, you are given an acknowledgement certificate. Okay, so the acknowledgement certificate issued to the author who notifies the Commission of his work provides prima facie evidence of the fact shown on it. So the certificate you are offered by NCC, is a kind of proof or evidence that you are the true owner of that work. Now, the scheme also provides a depository for preserving original copies of works notified. So what this means is that when you register with NCC, you're required to drop copies of your work. Now, this serves as some kind of bank where your works, original works, copies of your original works are now preserved. Let's move on to the next question. Can I register more than one work on the same application? I think I already answered that. So let me just give a brief answer that no, each work should be registered in a separate application. However, you may register works as a collection on one application with one title for the entire collection, as in the case of a music album with songs. A movie in parts will be treated as separate works. Next question. When I register my work, will copies be made available for access by members of the public? Now, when you register a work with the Commission, it becomes part of the data bank of copyright authors and works required to be kept by the Commission under the Copyright Act, and therefore forms part of a public record. All the information you provide copyright registration is available to the public and will be on the internet. That's nice. However, copies of the work can be made available to third parties with the authorization of the author or copyright owner. Now, I've been waiting for this one. Okay, so it says, can I pay with a credit/debit card? The answer to that question is yes. Payment of fees can be made either online through the use of credit or debit card or the commission's scratch card. Okay, I love this one so much. It makes it easier for people who don't want to go through the stress of going to the bank to queue up. So alternatively, payments can be by bank deposit. Note that online payment may attract transaction fees chargeable by the financial service provider. Alright? So next question, how long does copyright protection last? The rights enjoyed by the owner. Take note of this one, guys. I was really touched when I was researching the rights enjoyed by the owner of copyright are limited. I repeat, the rights enjoyed by copyright owners are limited. Now, the author of a work does not own his copyright indefinitely. The author of a literary, artistic, or musical work enjoys copyright throughout his lifetime and for 70 years after his death. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? So, for authors who have rights in literary, artistic, or musical work, they have the right to enjoy copyright throughout their lifetime, and after they die, 70 years more. After that, the work is pushed into the public domain for anyone to use. Now, in the case of films, sound recordings, performances, the owner enjoys copyright for 50 years from the time the work was first published. The work goes to the public domain when the term of protection expires and third parties are allowed free use. Man, this is something touchy. Now, all this while I thought that copyright enables the authors to hold rights to their works from generation to generation and so on. But I got to discover otherwise here. Wow. Now, next question. What is the fee for registration? Okay, I talked about fee the other time, so we're onto it now. The fee for registration is 10,000 naira for those paying in naira, $60 for those who are registering from outside Nigeria. Okay. Now, fees for transactions under the registration are as follows. There are some other fees in case you want some extra service. So, issuance of certified copy or certificate, you have to pay 5,000 naira or $30. Issuance of certified true copy of form, you pay 5 naira or $30. Now, correction and changes in submitted data, you pay 5,000 naira or $30. Issuance of certified true copy of a work. Now, this one is paper-based only. There are options under that. Okay, so for paper-based issuance of certified true copy of a work, now here they are. For works below 50 pages, you pay 5,000 naira or $30. For works between 51 to 100 pages, you pay 7,500 naira or $40. For works between 101 to 200 pages, you pay 10,000 naira or $90. Okay? For works that are above 201 pages, you pay 15,000 naira or $90. Now the next question, how can I preview my certificate in my account? You can do this by accessing there's a section of the site reads approved application. Okay, so that's a folder in your dashboard, I guess, when you register. It's titled approved application. So you can go to that folder, click on it, then in there you click on certificate. All right, you see your certificate waiting for that after it's been your work has been approved or your registration has been approved. Now, I think this is the final question, is it? I guess so. It says, can I still pay by bank deposit payment? Oh, definitely yes. Payment may be made by bank deposit at any bank nationwide. Application fees paid using this method will, take note of this guys, will only be processed after receipt of confirmation of payment by the e-registration desk. Take note please. For bank deposit, payment should be made first before submission of your work online. Take note, for bank deposit, payment should be made before submission of your work online. Failure to comply will result to delay in processing of your application. Okay? Now, just a little by the side information. The federal government of Nigeria has implemented an electronic collection system to make payments to Nigerian Copyright Commission (NCC). Now, so guys, feel free, visit any bank branch and present your payment to the teller. Alright? Teller that's over the counter, and say you want to pay Nigeria Copyright Commission via the remitter platform. Whoosh, man, that's one long one. You know, for someone actually into the arts, I'm into music, I do spoken word, I do poetry, I do a bit of drama, instrumentation, you know, and having personally tried to put out my work out there, it's complex. It's not an easy thing. It takes a lot of time. So it's really my desire to see upcoming artists and even artists who are established to find some level of ease in doing these things. So my people out there, putting out your works, whether they're literary or artistic or musical, put it out there is nice, but putting your works out there without doing the necessary is risky. So there are different rights you should opt for or register for before you put your work out there. Okay? Now, gone are the days where people just do things shabbily without paying attention to details. So one of those rights you can apply for before putting your works out there is copyrights. Okay? And when you apply for copyright, you're protected by the copyright law. That way nobody can mess around with your stuff. You know, your work is like you created it. It took you time, energy, effort, determination, you know, evaluation, meditation, and a whole lot goes into creating stuffs. Whether you're doing them orally, you're writing them down, or you're crafting them, it takes time. So if it took you so long to create it, don't be in a hurry to throw it out. Make sure you do the needful, okay? So one of such rights you do, what you get is your copyrights. Okay, now in subsequent videos I'm going to be talking about other rights that you should apply for or other things you should do before putting your work out there. These things are very vital. Okay, so guys, it's been a lovely time with you. I really had fun all these out for you guys.